Oh wow!
Beautiful, Damari.
We're gonna have to get you a. We're gonna have to get you a face.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get one. We're working on it. In
We're
progress.
working on it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Hola y bienvenidos a The Cup, el podcast actualmente sin nombre, donde ponemos lo real y el té en realidad, y siempre puedes venir a nosotros primero para saciar tu sed. I did about as well reading Spanish as Valentina did through this whole episode. We'll talk about it. Yo soy Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. Today we're drinking coffee because we're doing something different, and I wanted a whole bunch of coffee, so I'm using my good old San Diego Zoo mug today. But if I was using a smaller mug, I would be using my cup mug. I remembered to grab it before the recording started today. We also have to get Mr. Talented a cup mug.
There's a lot of things, but we're working on it.
Right. Link below to get your merch. But no, it's just some good old salted caramel flavored coffee today.
Wonderful. And hello, I am Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. And you know, if you have some tea, you know what to do, hit me up. I am not drinking anything today because I just had my dinner and I drank all of my drink. I had juice and I drank it all. And so I refuse to get back up to go get anything else to drink. And I'm full. So I don't really need anything to drink right now. So nothing to drink. But of course, always, I would drink it in my mug if I needed to. Yay.
Yes, and hello guys, it is me, it is I, Mr. Talented, your favorite guy, and today I'm not drinking any generic water sponsored by Madame Lucy, but I am drinking some grapefruit juice because you need a little bit of sugar in your diet, you know? Let's sweeten it up a little bit, you know?
My favorite citrus fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
And I am David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I am wearing one of my favorite drag queens, everybody's favorite, one Jinx Monsoon, the queen of all queens. And I wanted to wear this because I just saw Roxy Andrews on Wednesday. And I'm going to see Coco Montrese in a couple of weeks. So I'm like, might as well wear their winner. And I'm drinking a water.
Work. It's episode 1 of Drag Race Mexico. I know we were excited going in. I have to say, this exceeded all of my expectations, honestly. I thought this was one of the best premieres we've seen in a very long time.
I was excited. I was like, okay, if these queens were giving off these looks that they showed us on their Instagrams and things like that, I knew we were in for a treat. And I was not disappointed. I wasn't disappointed in anything. The looks coming in, the runways. I mean, am I saying everybody was perfect? No. I'm just saying I wasn't disappointed because I was excited for everybody. And I was still excited for everybody. And I'm still excited for everybody.
Yeah. This was a great first episode of their franchise of this season. It was really great. The looks coming in, some of them I will have to say are all-stars level looks. So it was really, interesting to see these first-time queens coming right out the gate, serving us some great looks. The episode was great overall. I love how they didn't drain it out a little bit, especially with the workroom conversation. It was just at the right time. But, the end part, we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that.
The one disappointment.
The one disappointment, but we're gonna stick to the positives. Gonna stick to the positives.
Yeah, I gotta echo everything you all are saying. Like, I honestly was watching, like, within the first 10 minutes, I'm like, why do I feel like I'm watching an all-star season? Like, they secretly have done a bunch of Mexico seasons, and
Great.
here they're
Well,
surprising
they
us
have.
with
It's
all-star.
called La Mastraga.
True, and we have a couple of queens from that franchise crossing over. But yeah, I thought it was really good. Even some of the queens that I was like, I'm on the fence about, they ended up winning me over in some sort of way. So I'm very excited about this season, and I can't wait to talk about it.
I said, let's jump right into it.
I want to
Entrance
jump right
looks.
in. Also, can we talk about this fucking workroom for a second?
Okay.
We're going to
One
get
Yes.
very accustomed
One
to this
of the
workroom.
best.
Because we're going to see this workroom for 3 different franchises of Drag Race. So
And I'm fine with it.
I'm very fine with it. Lana, did I tell you that, T?
No.
So, Drag Race Mexico, Drag Race Brazil, and Drag Race Germany are all filming in the same studio in Colombia.
I love that. I actually kind of love that. I mean, look, it's cheaper if you can have one location. You can do 3 different franchises in one location. It's a cheaper thing. You don't have to keep buying stuff and keep redecorating. But the workroom itself is fabulous. Like, that workroom is amazing.
The biggest workroom. I believe it is the biggest workroom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was great.
The individual mirrors along with the pink side,
I was like, work.
Yeah.
Like in the trailer, it kind of
good.
looks small. Like in the trailer, it kind of looks small because of the way they cut it. But then that first opening scene, I was like, work.
Literally.
Like the stage and the workroom are so big.
Exactly.
I was like, I literally gasped. I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, everybody knows I've not watched a whole lot of Drag Race. And the ones that I've seen, like even All-Stars, that workroom seems pretty, compact. Not small, but like not huge. But this looked like you could fit the U.S. workroom inside this workroom. Like, it's just so big.
It's going to be such a lovely comparison, like getting used to this workroom. And then I guess the next franchise we're getting is actually Down Under. When we switch back to Down Under and there's a small-ass workroom.
I wonder what France is going to look like. I wonder what Francis looks like.
Francis is good.
Okay.
Francis is very good.
But they for the most part, it's like copy and paste the main one.
Yeah.
This is the first one that feels like its own thing. Although, which franchise has like a purple workroom?
Canada. And this workroom are my favorite workrooms.
But France's workroom, like it has that, like this kind of, explain it to Lana.
Their workroom, once you see their workroom, you'll get it, Lana. But like theirs feels like 2 very separate rooms, but it's the same room. Like there's like an area for like kikiing and like doing challenge things, and then there's like the getting ready area.
Oh, okay.
Where theirs feels like separate but together. This one just is huge.
Yeah, and it's like all together, but together beautifully.
I cannot wait to see more of this workroom next week when we get the design challenge, which we'll talk about and I'm very excited about. But
France features like a bunch of wigs too, so you see all these.
They have a whole wig
wall.
wall.
Oh, I love that.
They did it on season 1. I hope they still have it on season 2. But
fingers crossed.
Let's dive in.
We're about to start this with a bang.
No, I'm about to say with a bang. With a bang. Yes. When I tell you, when the first person walked into that workspace, I was like, this is going to be amazing.
That's why we drafted them first.
Well, don't you all mean a bang bang because it's
entrance.
Pixie Pixie.
Pixie Pixie. Period. That's how you walk into a walk.
The Batman villain herself.
That is how you walk into a freaking workroom on your first day of Drag Race. Mama, stop. And her pictures that she posted on Instagram afterwards in this outfit just melts my whole soul. I love this look. Head to toe perfect.
Yeah, this is an all-time great. Like, it's got to be on the Mount Rushmore of best entrance looks ever. Probably with Shea Coulee a couple times. I don't know.
Shea Coulee's
This-
All-Stars 5 entrance, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This look was sickening. She walked through in the black and white, and I was like, absolutely. I love how it doesn't seem like it's too much black in one particular area and too much white in one particular area. It's separated perfectly. I love how the cups move. I love that she painted her face white because it just adds to the overall effect of the look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
mean,
how she always paints her
That's
face
it.
too.
She is the House of Black and White, and
Yep.
so she is the founder of the House of Black and White. And it's
Yeah.
like, period. She ate down. With
I
this.
hope we see a little bit of a uniqueness in her makeup because we know she can do quote unquote normal makeup. We've seen it on Instagram, even
Mhm.
though between me, Lana, and David, when we did our Instagram review video, we all picked black and white looks, but that's beyond the point. I'm hoping for versatility, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna get it because she right off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and say she seems like a winner right now.
Oh, for sure. If I was going by just winner
that feel
by
that way, but like
Yep.
she walked in with such confidence, with such grace, with such just polish is the word I have to use to describe Pixie Pixie. It's just everything is so good. It's my cup is overflowing. Yeah.
Even up into with the umbrella, like even with the little black and white like come on, it was just so good. I was so happy when she walked in first, and I was like, that's my pick, girl. That's my pick, girl.
Yeah.
That's why you were picked first, because you look like that.
She was picked first and second. That's how good she is.
That's how good.
But
Pixie, pick.
Literally,
period.
Pixie, and then, yeah.
Period. And yes, overflowing, but like I have no cups that could feel how I feel about this outfit.
Yeah, it's overflowing.
mm-hmm.
Sick, man.
Yep. I'm going to give it a 97 just because I want to give room to improve.
I think, is that the highest score you've ever given?
No, I've given some higher, but 97 is like way up there for me. But yeah.
I don't even know where you can improve this look at all. I don't even know.
Her runway look. We'll talk about it. Next up, Serena Morena. I think this is cute. I was nervous. We were all a little nervous after the promo for Serena Morena, and I'm very, very happy overall with what she showed on this episode. And I am just absolutely obsessed with this woman. Everything was great. Is the look on the more basic side? Absolutely. But I think it's very polished as well. This color looks really great on her. Her makeup looks great. I love the wig. It all came together in a very, very good way for me for Serena Morena.
I like this look. I'm not saying I love this look. I like this look. I don't know if I like the wig as much, but I do like the little color, like the transparency thingies on the translucent things on the shoulders and the hips. I like that it deters from just the basic pink that she has on with the rest of her outfit. I like the look. I think it's a cute look. Yeah, it's cute. It's not horrible, but it's just good. It's cute.
Yeah, I agree. It's not the worst look I've seen. I do like the choice of colors. I just feel like it looks a little empty, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like she probably could have done something different. I'm not sure what I would have done, but I feel like she probably could have done something a little bit different. But it's not horrible by any means, you know?
By any means.
Mhm.
I like that she's showing body though, because I understand that like emptiness comment, and I totally get it. I like that she's showing body, so for me that doesn't bother me as much. But I get the critique for sure.
Yeah. I agree with you all. I do think it's cute. I'm not going to hold her to a different standard than everybody else, though.
Mm-mm.
So, like, is it one of my favorite entrance looks of the night? No. But it is cute on her. It's giving me a little bit of, like, actually, her as a whole is kind of giving me, like, Cheryl Hole. Which isn't the worst comparison.
I like her so much, if I'm being honest. I love
said
Shad.
that too.
Really?
I love Shad
I said
dearly.
that too.
I think that may be why I like her so much. It's just that bubbly, she seems like the nicest person in the world. And like,
Right.
I feel like I could be best friends with Serena Morena.
Yeah.
Like she
She's so
feels
smiley.
like, exactly. Like she's the kind of person that I gravitate towards just in my everyday life. And I think that's why I like her so much. But do you want to do scores?
Let's do it.
I'm going to give Serena Morena an 87. I really enjoy this.
I will give it a 75. It's cute.
It's right in the middle for me, so I'm gonna give her a 50.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's pretty close to the middle. I'm gonna give her a 53 though.
Shady bitches. Anyway, I feel like I'm going to be the Serena Morena defender of the season, and honestly, I'm ready. I'm ready to be on the front line of the Serena Morena fan club. So,
hey, look, I'm wearing a Jinx Monsoon shirt, so if she can give me Jinx Monsoon and everything, and give me some okay looks, I'll love her.
Sure, I get it. Next up, Margaret Y Ya. It's fine.
I think it's better than fine.
Sure.
Yeah, I like the red kind of cape that's wrapping around there, and I like the hearts. I think she looks pretty good. Her wig looks good. This is some of the better makeup we'll see from her in the episode. Not to get too far ahead of myself, but yeah, I think she's cute, and I'm really liking her in her confessional. Like she's so adorable in her out of drag look.
Yeah. The makeup, I like it. I think it's cute. It's creative. I like it. The hair is cute. The red, it's nice, a nice little splash of color. However, when it comes to the creamish color and the nude color, I don't really like how there's such far of a contrast. I wish she would have just done one color all the way down. But I appreciate the fact that she didn't just have I think those are her stockings, probably.
The tights with the
her
hearts.
tights. Yeah, I'm glad that she didn't just do bare tights. I'm glad she added something to it, so that I can really appreciate as well. She just didn't let me just put on the tights. No, she added something to it as well. So if she had those two colors of the corset and the tights the same, then it would be a little bit better to me.
Or like a starker contrast. Like if she had gone more of like a brighter baby pink with the corset,
maybe
with the tights. I think
I don't mind
better.
it though.
I don't.
It's still giving me like Valentine's Day a little bit.
I think that was the point. It seems like heart motifs are like her thing, which great. I love it. For me, this feels like 3 different concepts. Like it feels like the hair and the face are a concept. The red stole into the bow and the gloves feel like a concept, and then the corset and the legging or the corset and the tights feel like a concept, and they just don't all come together for me in the way that I would have wanted. But I think all put together, I don't dislike this look. I'm just not in love with it.
Fair. Same.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like I agree with you, Logan. I think it's different concepts brought together to make one look, and it just seems a little disjointed, but not in a horrible way where it's like, this is horrific. It's just, okay, I see your ideas, I see your concepts. I would like them to mesh better together, but they don't completely clash to a horrible point. So her makeup is amazing. I think her makeup is so pretty and so good that it kind of like makes me go, not that bad. It's just like, that's so good because her makeup is really good. It's really good. I think, like you said, it's some of the best in this from her this episode. But I don't hate it. I just don't love it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, David.
I'll go quickly. Yeah, there's a queen that used to live in my city. She now lives in LA, but she does very similar eye makeup to Margaret Y Ya. Her name's Lux, not Lux.
Noir.
Right.
Yeah.
But she is in the house of Method, so she's like basically the third behind Crystal Method and Diabetes. But look up Lux on Instagram if you don't know her, and you'll be like, oh yeah, it is kind of similar eye makeup. So it's cute.
Yeah.
I will say I actually met Margaret at DragCon before I realized that she was going to be on this season.
Wow.
The makeup in person as well is flawless.
Mm.
She knows what makeup looks good on her face, and it fits beautifully. Yeah, had I realized she was going to be on Drag Race, I probably would have like gotten a photo with her and like had a longer conversation, but I didn't realize it at the time because the cast hadn't been announced. So, but I think overall for Margaret, I'm gonna give her a 75.
I will give her 69.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her. I'm gonna give her 70. The makeup and the little stoning on the tights really adds to it for me.
All of that, and I'm the lowest on Margaret. I'm giving her a 51. I think it's like slightly above average, like very slightly.
I didn't say I hated it. I
True.
like the parts, but not necessarily all together.
Mm-hmm.
I like the 3 parts, which is why it's a 75. And then she loses the other 25 for it not looking good together.
Great, Justin.
Next up, Vermelha Noir.
I gasped when she walked in. I was like, yes, this is what I wanted from her, and this is what I got. And I was very happy. I was very, very happy when she walked into the room. I was very happy. And then I loved her reaction when she looked over and saw Pixie Pixie. It was like, Mother! I was like, yes! I loved that. She looks amazing. I didn't expect anything less from her. And I was not disappointed with this look at all.
I was actually slightly disappointed just because her Instagram, the standard is like 100s across the board. And I don't think this was the best look. I do really like it. Just for her, she set that bar so high for me. But I think she still is very cute. I really hope that they aren't going to pit her and Pixie against each other. Because I'm afraid she's going to lose.
I mean, I'm just saying this is an entrance look. I'm not looking for her to come into the workroom or an entrance look in her biggest, bestest drag look that
Pixie
she has ever created. No, Pixie didn't. That's not her biggest, bestest drag look. It's just a perfection of a drag look.
Fair.
She just know how to do it well. I don't think for an entrance look, we got to think this is an entrance look.
I know.
This
and
is
great.
one of a great look for an entrance look. Period.
Yeah, this is everything. I love when queens do makeup like this and it looks so flawless. Like, the colors are not faded, they don't look washed out. It's just there. It looks pure perfection. Head to toe, she came out. I was like, absolutely. She ate down.
I really enjoy this for an entrance look. I think I skew a little bit more towards the David side of things, just because we've seen, and I'm not saying this is bad by any means of the imagination. I'm not saying that's what David thought either. I'm just like, for me, there was just a little something missing, and I don't know what that was. But I think overall, it's a very, very good look, and I think she looks great. So I'm not upset about this whatsoever. It's not my favorite.
Fair. Yeah. And I'm starting to pick up from what the contestants are saying that some of them are falling into like a folk category. And I think we're seeing that she's starting to show more folk, while I think her drag mother is a bit more modern. It's really her, Matraka, and Lady Kero that I think are falling into that folk category, which I'm really liking that style of drag as a whole. So I'm excited to see what else she has.
Scores.
I'm gonna give this an 87.
My cup runneth over. She is full for me, and there is nothing anyone can say about it to me. That's
Yeah, I'm in
it.
the same boat. The cup is.
Period. Period.
Yeah. I'm giving her a 75. I'm giving her room to step it up a bit higher than this, but I still really like it.
Next up, Regina Voce. I'm disappointed. I just have to say that mug is everything. I really enjoy Regina Voce. This was not good.
Now, who said a look was fine? This is fine to
This
me.
is fine.
Yeah, and I want more than fine on Drag Race. Yeah, first of all, she looks way younger out of drag than I expected. I don't know why, but
She's had a lot of work done, David. That's why.
that's fair. But yeah, this is cute. But I mean, this is something I would see at any local bar. I don't know. You're on national television, international television. I would just expect a little bit more than this, but it's still not terrible.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of don't like the shoe with the outfit either. Yeah, I just altogether I just yeah, it's not horrible, but altogether I just kind of don't like it. You know, it seems a little bit underwhelming. Just a little bit.
It's definitely underwhelming. Everything about this is underwhelming. It looks like she went to a vintage shop and decided to go back to the 80s and pull out this vintage dress and put some fringe on it and those boots that just don't.
This would be
There's
cute at
nothing
an
wrong with
80s
that
party.
concept.
it'd be cute at a 80s party. She would be great. I'd be like, girl, work this 80s look with the big hair and the big bang in the front. I would say work, sis. But for your entrance on a Drag Race International, nah, we should have did a little bit better than that.
I remember her entrance look on the first episode of Queen of the Universe season 1, and it was fucking incredible.
They have
I'm like,
stylists.
where's that level? I'm going to say for this and for her runway look. I'm like, where is that level of Regina Voce? That's what I'm expecting.
Maybe the stylist helped. She didn't have a stylist. It's on her own. Left to her own devices to get this.
Perhaps.
I think if Eve was here, she'd be like, "Where's my chopsticks?
Oh, no.
Chop,
Choppity chop.
choppity chop,
Nah,
chop, chop."
it's not chopstick level for me, but
Yeah, it's not chopsticks.
no,
It's
I'm
not
curious
chopstick
about
level for me,
scores.
but we all
though.
know Eve would be. Eve. I'm going to give Regina Voce, a 50.
I'm gonna give it a 45 because it's a below average.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her a 40.
Yeah, I also put down a 40.
Work.
A little below average for this.
Oh boy. Well, next up is Miss Vallarta.
I feel like chopsticks would come out for
I
this
mean,
one too. I feel like choppity chop chop would come out because this looks what tourist. I mean, I get that's what you're going for, but
Yeah.
it ain't working. It ain't working. It ain't work. The wig looks crispy. The shirt is ooh.
It looks crispy, but it looks like they threw water on it to put out the
To
fire.
try to, it's just this ain't hitting on nothing. Everything about this look is wrong. Everything about this look is wrong.
Definitely.
Why are you wearing khaki shorts in drag? Why are we wearing khaki shorts in drag? Why are we doing it? We shouldn't be.
Look,
That hair looks like ramen noodles on the top of her head.
She looks like she was in season 1 of The White Lotus, and she was laying out too long in the sun and turned pink.
That's disrespectful to the costume designers on White Lotus season 1.
What throws it off for me the most is the slight contrast in the pink on her face and then the pink on her bodysuit. That kind of just immediately throws it off for me. And then the outfit itself, you know, I appreciate the little stoning that she did, but it's like it still kind of doesn't look good. I mean, the way you guys said it already, absolutely not. And then even the shoe that she wore didn't go with this outfit at all.
It was not a good look.
True. I like a concept though.
Yeah, it could work.
It's so fun. The execution is so far away from what it needs to be.
I mean, you could be a tourist and have that same thing, but you still have to make it drag because you're a drag artist. You have to make it drag. You have to do like she could have took that whole shirt and made it to a whole dress. Like that big old shirt could have been a dress. Same shit up
with
at the
khaki belt.
Right, a
if
khaki
you really
belt.
want to throw in the khaki element, make it a belt. Make the shoes khaki. I don't know, just not this.
I mean, because the best I think a reference that I could think about since I just started, think about when Monica Beverly Hills walked in a Girl Scout outfit for her entrance look. It was still a Girl Scout outfit, but she made it drag and she made it cute and she made it sexy. You have to do that. Well, you just can't come in and be like, I'm just going to put on some khaki shorts and a big old shirt and call it a look. On Drag Race? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This looked like a practice outfit. This looked like we put this on when you were blocking. This wasn't the actual show wasn't on. You was just blocking. But
I mean, the good news is after her and Regina, it's all up from here.
Thank God.
Hopefully.
Jesus,
Are we ready for scores?
Yeah.
Yes.
Please.
Please.
Oh.
Please.
Yeah, she's gonna get my first plead in Drag Race Mexico history.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, okay. Well, Miss Vallarta, you should love me because I'm giving you a 27.
I don't think that I'm sure good.
I think she's lovely and entertaining, and I hope she goes up from here.
Yes, but this is horrible.
This is bad. For me, and for Lana, and for Mr. Talented.
Right. I mean, it's bad for David, just he wanted to be nice and not plead. Because David does not plead. David does not plead.
No.
But I don't mind pleading.
Next up, Lady Kero.
I was impressed.
Our most underestimated queen.
Very underestimated. We underestimated.
She was out first.
But I'm so glad I got her. I'm just gonna put this out here now. I'm so glad I got Lady Kero because I was very happy with this.
Still could go home first. We don't know.
We don't know yet.
So spoilers.
We don't know. But yeah, I like this look for entrance look. I was like, yes, come in there with the sleeves and the heart head piece and the heart in the middle of the dress and the hearts all over. I kind of like this look. Is it 8 down gorgeous? No. But do I like it? Yes. Yes. It looks, her face looks good. Her makeup is good. I like this look a lot.
She impressed me a lot in this episode. We really underestimated her from the Meet the Queens. Like we really, and I'm going to issue an apology to Lady Kero. I'm sorry that we underestimated you this much.
It's a class action apology.
Honestly. Well, and even the reaction when she walked in, all of the queens were just so excited to see her.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, good. Like I'm really happy to hear that. This was impressive for me. I love an entrance look with heart motifs. My fave Mo Heart did it, and it's wonderful. But I really like the tulle that's on the sleeve. I like the way that the sleeve is created, and it's kind of separate from the gown, but also with the gown. I love the shoe. I think the headpiece is beautiful. The makeup is fabulous. It all comes together. It's not my favorite entrance look, but it's up there for me.
Yeah, I agree with it.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I agree with everything you guys said. Like, it wasn't like complete 8 down, but I still like it and appreciate it a lot. There's a clear concept. clear idea. Everything goes together well. She did a great job, and her makeup is great too. She did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I even like that she did the little one more thing, sorry. I even like that she added the little necklace around her neck just to add something to that plain area right there. That was a great move too.
Yeah. Yes, I was gonna say I like that she's showing her shape too, because a lot of queens that aren't like the skinniest, they might shy away from doing that, but she's got a great body. And she looks really good in this. One thing that really stood out to me was when she came to the table and Pixie was being so sweet, and she's like, "You're folk queen, and you're here, and you're a worthy competitor to be here to represent folk queens." And then for some reason, Regina took that very personally. She took that as a slight against everybody else, and I did not understand it. Like, she wasn't saying anybody else wasn't a worthy competitor. She was happy to see folk representation on the Drag Race Mexico stage. So I was like, "Chill out, Regina."
I'm like, you do anything but folk representation, no tea. But like,
right.
As far as scores are concerned, I'm very, very happy to be giving Lady Kero a 90.
I am happy to give Lady Kero a 95.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm gonna give Lady Karen 85.
Okay. I'm giving her a very good 70.
I'm very happy I have you on my team. I am very happy to have you.
Argennis. Because guess what? In case you forgot from the Meet the Queens, y'all, she's the chameleon.
Chameleon.
She's the chameleon. I really kind of like this. I didn't think I would like it, but the more I looked at it when she walked in, I was like, okay, bodysuit, but doing it right, because like it ain't just a plain bodysuit. The horns and makeup is good. The big hair is good. I mean, makeup is okay. Let me do this.
Okay.
Makeup is okay.
It's okay.
It's not great.
Fine.
The makeup is okay. I would, her cheeks are a little cool, but it's a little severe in the cheek area. But I love that the hair plays with the colors on the bodysuit. I actually really liked it. And then I was like, you hold that tail. Yes, that tail was long. It was a long tail. And I was like, yes, girl. I was here for it. I loved it. I kind of really loved it. And she looked amazing in it. Mm-hmm.
I like it too. I really like it. I love the choice of colors on the bodysuit. The hair goes well with it. Yeah, the makeup isn't the best, It's not there yet. She has a little bit more work, But this look I can appreciate. And it's not just a plain color bodysuit. The bodysuit has a concept, it has an idea, it has great colors. She can get away with it. It looks good.
I don't love it.
Okay.
I want to because I think the concept is really fun. Unfortunately, like this is definitely recency bias. We've seen a better chameleon look on Drag Race stages very recently.
When?
I'm pretty sure Visa did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Drag Race España, someone just did a chameleon.
Okay,
I don't
remember.
I don't remember her doing that.
I thought it was one of the earlier runways. I believe there was a chameleon look that we've seen recently.
Okay, I'll trust you.
I mean, I'll trust you. I thought it was the butterfly.
Yeah, there was a monarch.
It might not have been Visa, but someone did a chameleon. I'm gonna look it up once I give my thoughts. I think my biggest issue here is I think the fabric is fun. I don't like where the fabric becomes different patterns. I like the stripe pattern a lot. And then when you get that sort of like, it looks almost like amoebas. And it's like patches. Yeah, it's like you have the piece down the middle and then it's patches around on the legs. I really don't like those two fabrics together. For some reason, like next to each other, it just doesn't go well for me. I don't think the wig is all that well styled. I agree. I think the makeup is fine, but I don't think it's great by any means. I really want to like this, and I like her. This look just didn't come all together for me.
Yeah, I when she came out, I went through a journey. I was like, ooh, oh, huh? And I settled on liking it. But yeah, it did take me a while to get it all and appreciate it all, because at first I'm like, oh, it's just a bodysuit. It's just like a kind of a plain fabric. I'm like, it's really not that plain. It's pretty intricate. And then I grew to appreciate it more and more. Now, the neck up is not my favorite, but overall, I think it's a pretty good concept and very well executed. So I like it.
I kind of like the patch. Like you talk about the patches
Mhm.
in between, because she's supposed to be a chameleon,
Yep.
and maybe this was her in transition. So it's like she's not, when the chameleon changes, they don't just all change at one time. They go through the metamorphosis of changing. So I'm seeing like maybe it's still in the metamorphosis of changing. That's why it gives the patchy look. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. But
It would have been really cool if she knew what the workroom looked like and she had workroom on her
Oh my god, that would have been
chest.
great.
That would have been
That-
amazing.
Also, I'm not crazy. Visa did a chameleon look.
I can't see that.
Oh, you're right. I do.
It was for
I
the
do kinda
transformation
remember.
runway early on España season 3.
That's right.
I
Okay.
knew I wasn't crazy. I was like, I
Okay.
know we just saw this. I had to pull the look separately. Anyway,
I mean, yeah, but also that was Visa's runway.
I thought it was a salamander.
Yeah,
it
I
was
did
supposed to be a
too.
chameleon.
Okay.
But like that was Visa's runway look, and this is her interest look. So that's why I'm kind of like the recency bias doesn't like come off like, oh, I've seen a better chameleon look. Well, yeah, you should have on the runway. I don't judge the runway like I judge the entrance looks.
And I'm
For
not going to
me,
score this as high as I did that.
I get that for sure, Lana. For me, I feel like all of your looks that you bring to Drag Race should be runway ready. That's just me personally, but I understand where you're coming from with that for sure.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, I'm gonna give Argennis a 65.
I like it. I would give it an 80.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 70.
I gave it a 71.
We're
I'm in the
still
top
same-
half.
We're
Good
still
for
in the same
you.
realm.
That's a rare occasion. Cristian Peralta. Bitch.
Bitch. Can I just say, I am so glad you're on my team.
And can we talk about also, presumably, a straight man?
I'm like,
Right.
I need more information on this.
I want to know more. I'm very intrigued by Cristian after this one
He
episode.
did to his wife and child at home.
Wife and child.
And
I'm
I'm
not gonna immediately jump to straight.
Right.
Because
Could be.
it could be a variety of different sexualities,
True.
and I don't ever want to assume.
Mhm.
But I love that Cristian is here. I am truly obsessed with Cristian after this one episode. I'm very thrilled. This look is everything for me. It's so simple, but so perfectly done.
It's super. It's so sexy. It is so sexy. And I don't say that a lot about everybody on the show, but this look right here, like the face, the hair, just that one little slick of hair that we see. This is everything. And of course, it's purple, which I can't get enough of purple. It's everything. She ate down. Period.
Yeah, I like the look from top to bottom. The only thing is, I don't like that I can see her bra in her underwear. Like, I wish, yeah, I'm not sure what she could have done, but I just wish it was something different. The brand,
More
the
flesh
underwear,
colored.
it kind of just gives it off for me.
I was gonna say a double layer of tulle, maybe in like the a double layer of tulle, like in the midsection and like over the panty area, or even just a double layer of tulle overall. I think could have done something like that. I get
or more presentable undergarments.
Yeah. Cause like you see the strap, it looked like she had on two, because you could see the strap for one and then the back
It
for
looks
the
like a
other.
sports bra.
It looks
If
like a
I'm being
sports bra.
honest, that's
Yeah,
kind of what it looks like.
it does. I mean, I can see that. I can definitely see where that could be a. I mean, but she looks so good that I didn't even care about the undergarments. It was just like sometimes somebody just looks so amazing you bypass some of their flaws. I think in this case, I just
Low
look.
verbiage.
Yeah, I just definitely look past all of that. But yeah, I can see why. Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm wondering if maybe when she tried it on somewhere else, the lights were not as bright as that
Right.
studio light, and
Mm-hmm.
she didn't realize you could see through it so much. But I do like it. I don't love it. This is something that I feel like I've seen quite a bit on Drag Race, and it's done well, but I'm not excited by it. And I want to be more excited. She will excite me more later in the episode, but I will say there are 3 queens I'm getting potential winner from.
Yes.
We already saw Pixie.
Yep.
Christian is my second one. So
And I'm pretty sure we all agree on who the third one is.
probably.
I just thought of something that I think would have maybe made the look better. I think if you cut off the skirt altogether at that like bejeweled moment, make it more like a loincloth situation. So you just have a panel in the front and then your legs are out. Like panel in the front, panel in the back. Get rid of like the side fabric and double up the tulle on like the body area. I think maybe that would have done something for it. That changes the look completely, but like, yeah. So, I'm gonna give Christian a 90.
Yeah. For the undergarment situation, I will dock some because I agree. But I will give her a 92 because I still really love this look. I really loved it.
I'll give her an 80.
Okay, I'm giving her a 65.
Okay. Gala Varo.
This just screamed Beetlejuice to me. And even though somebody said it on the episode, they were like Beetlejuice. When they saw it, I was like, this is very much Beetlejuice. But
drag.
But drag, which
and good.
I could appreciate. I appreciate this look because it was very much a concept of a bank robber or a jail or somebody escaping jail, whatever, a jail, whatever, but turned into something else that made it look fabulous. I enjoyed this look a lot.
Yeah, I like this too quite a bit. I like if I saw this at a local bar, I'd be like, "Okay, girl." The wig's a little flat, but overall, I think this was a pretty strong entrance look, and I'm really just liking her. Like, I think she's super sassy and funny, and maybe going to bring some drama. I had said it in our cast assessment. I was getting Fierce Delicious vibes from her. I'm still getting Fierce Delicious vibes from her. And I think she said she has a boyfriend in every state in Mexico. And apparently Pixie
Including
was
Pixie
one.
Pixie.
So I'm here for that that element and that drama. But yeah, I like her a lot. I'm glad I drafted her.
On a side note, away from Gala Varo, I'm ready to thirst over Pixie Pixie all season. I'm just gonna throw that one out there because, like, and Gala for that matter.
I know there's quite a few of them. Christian's cute.
Yes.
The next one. Yes, the next one's very cute.
Yeah. This look was okay. I don't really love it. It's fine. I don't know. It's just fine.
I'm in the exact same boat, honestly. I think it's fine. I think my difficulty is I really like the suit, but I don't like the suit with the shoe or the wig. Like, I wish it was accessorized a little bit differently. Like, I would have loved with this, I would have loved just a black pump and then just like a straight, like bone straight share wig. Like, I think that could have been really fierce. I don't get this like red, pink, like salmon color wig with this outfit. I don't understand that. But I don't think she looks bad by any means.
Agreed.
I will give Gala Varo an 80.
I would give her an 80 as well.
I'll give her a 70.
I didn't expect to be the lowest, but I gave her a 67.
Man. She doesn't look bad.
No, she looks good.
She doesn't.
Ah! Matraka, Traka! AKA, I didn't know Inti was competing on Drag Race Mexico.
Inti wishes.
This is how you walk into a workroom. This is how you say, "This is me. Here I am. Love me or not, but I'm here." Like, this is so
Love me. Pick me.
Pick me.
Choose
me. But she looks amazing. I love this little hippie bandana type outfit. Like, I love this. She looks so cute. The different colors in her hair. Her makeup is so amazingly done. She looks so great. I stand. I do. I really like it.
I love her hair. I love it. It is so cute. It is so fun. It's so fresh. I love the outfit with all these different patterns. Normally, it would kind of be an eyesore, but here it's not. It's really not. I even love her little prop and how she was shaking that around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, she's fun. I like
she's fun.
Yeah, I really like what she represents here. Like, you can tell that she brings like a very specific eye as far as Mexican drag goes. Yeah, there's a lot of things clashing, but they're clashing kind of in the best way for me. I think she's adorable in and out of drag. Something about her facial structure, people will think I'm crazy if they even know who this is, but something about her face shape was just giving me Lily James the whole time, like a Mexican Lily James, if you can see it. But I really like her. I'm so glad you all let her slip back to me and I got to draft her because another very strong potential winner. In fact, if I had to put my money on it, I might bet on her.
I would bet on somebody else, but that's just me. So the instrument that she brought in is actually called a ratchet. I looked it up because I was curious. I was like, I feel like I've seen those before. It's a traditional Mexican instrument and warning device. So there's that. No, overflowing, period. I don't need to say anything else.
I love this look. I really did. I will give it a 98.
I'll give her a 95. Yeah.
This is very clearly in my top 2 of the entrance looks. I gave it an 85.
Well,
that's it.
At this point, everybody's here. We get Valentina walking into the workroom.
It's me.
And then there's like a 5-minute skit between Valentina and Lolita. And I was
like, living for it.
I was like, honestly, I live.
I know. Especially when they're like, and then hugged each other.
Yes. It was like, oh, good. I am once again reminded about how much I'm going to thirst over Lolita Banana on this season.
Yeah, it's just great because I love them both so much. And they just bring such different elements to drag and personality. And we saw that in just one episode. But I'm so excited to see them together.
Well,
No, you can go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask how we feel about... Overall, how do we feel about the Valentina Lolita dynamic one episode in? I don't know if that's where you were going to go with it, Mr. Talented, but like, what are our thoughts one episode in? Because it is only one episode. It'll probably get better as the season goes on. But what do we think so far?
It's great so far. I love how they shared the roles very well. Because at first, when they walked down the runway, I was like, is it just going to be Valentina and not Lolita? That's kind of shady. But then it was both of them. So I was like, that's nice. I like how they split it up well. The only thing I wish that Valentina's photo was originally covered so that when she popped up on the screen, we could have gotten a better reaction from the queens, you know? Because we didn't get to really see, like, oh my gosh, Valentina's going to be the host, because, like, they already saw her picture. So they already
I'm
knew.
pretty sure she had been announced as the host prior to filming
Before?
even starting. So I'm pretty sure that's why they did it. Because I'm pretty sure Valentina had been announced. As soon as casting was announced, I'm pretty sure Valentina was announced. And then Lolita was added on later. So I think that's why they did it the way that they did it. But I agree with you. I wish that it would have been more of a gag factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just hope that it seemed like for the most part, Valentina was taking the lead in this episode. So I'm hoping next week Lolita takes the lead and it kind of goes back and forth. Lana, what do you think? You don't really know these queens.
Right.
Yeah.
No opinion yet?
I mean, it was fine. They shared the responsibilities, and I do hope next week we see a switch in like lead roles, and they just go back and forth. But I think the way they handled the the entrance and then the runway and the judging, I think that was very fair, very fitting, and yeah.
So I have an idea about the mini challenge looks. So we're gonna see those. So what I think we should do is just go through them pretty quickly and give like a thumb dial for how much we like them.
I like
That way we
that.
can all quickly give our thoughts on the
I like
pictures.
that a lot.
So
Fab. So yeah, so we do. It's a classic episode 1 mini challenge photo shoot, but they had the queens change into, I'm gonna presume, an outfit that they brought for the runway, because most of these were not photo shoot ready looks; they were runway looks, in my opinion. But we are turning into piñatas, and they had to be hoisted up and then hit with pool noodles by the pit crew, which I like this pit crew a lot. So I was
no complaints.
No complaints here. But yes, I like that idea, David. Let's just do.
Okay, sorry for audio listeners. You won't be able to really know.
We can also verbalize our thumb choices. So, Gala Varo.
I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. She looked great.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm higher than everybody else, I think.
I'm more mid. Mr. Tyler was mid as well.
Cristian Peralta. Mid.
It's a lot of like.
Yeah,
a lot of thistle and.
Yeah. I mean, it's a piñata. If it was just for the runway of the piñata, she would definitely have a good piñata look. But in this picture, and hoisted up and all, it's mid.
Yeah.
It's slanting down for me.
I believe this is Argennis.
Is it? I thought this was Kero.
Either Argennis or Lady Kero.
I think it's Lady Kero.
I think it's Lady Kero.
This is Lady Kero.
I like the kind of paper mache element.
Yeah,
I'm leaning up.
I'm leaning up. Here. Yeah, I'm leaning up. Not
We're all pretty similar.
Yeah.
I'm facing the wrong direction.
Miss Vallarta. Honestly, I live.
Yeah, I think this is one of the better ones.
I think this is the best pink she showed this episode.
The pink works here. Yeah.
Yeah, the pink works here because it's different shades of pink. So it works here.
Yeah, I'm leaning up. Leaning up.
Mm.
I like the shoe.
Yeah,
shoes everything. I love the shoe.
I love a pink go-go boot.
It's cute.
Pixie Pixie.
It's good. It's I don't get piñata, but I like the look.
I like the look.
I'm very mid.
I'm halfway up. Mid.
Yeah,
Up.
I'm with Lana. It's more up than
mid.
Yeah, I'll give her
More up than mid. She looks like a cloud, not a pinata.
Right.
A unicorn cloud.
Margaret Y Ya.
Yeah, this
Absolutely.
was cute.
I like
I
this.
just wish she did I wish she did the horns and the boob reveal like while she was facing them. She did that while she was facing away. But I think it's cute. Oh, Mr. Talented.
Ooh!
I don't know if it looks different when she was standing up. I can't remember right now. But I don't really like it either.
Oh,
That's fair.
it's cute.
Kind of mid for me.
Fair.
I'm almost all the way up. My thumb bends weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna match David's. Regina Voce.
Ooh, I think
I'm leading up. I
I
really
like
my
it.
least favorite so far.
I kind of like it.
This is a lot of clashing things.
Yeah.
I love the wig because it looks like she could be suspended with the braids, and that's my favorite part of this whole thing.
That's why I like it.
That's why I like it.
That's why I like it. It's just fully up.
This shoe with the garment itself.
I mean, it's candy falling out of the shoe for me. I'm like, it's candy.
Oh,
She's
that
a
is
pinata.
cute. I'll put her more
kind of
mid.
like it.
Okay, I'll put her mid.
Yeah.
That's what makes me like it.
I'm not as down.
Okay.
I didn't notice that.
I'll put her mid.
Serena Morena. I live, and I don't care what anybody else has to say about it. I fucking live. This is camp. This is stupid, and I love it.
I thought it was weird that they had burrito in the subtitle, and I get that's what they're saying, but she's like a little
burro.
Burro. So like you didn't need to put burrito, put little donkey.
We have to remember, David, the subtitle team on World of Wonder is not great.
Yeah,
by any means.
Fine. So. It looks like it was kind of made that day.
I'm ready to be the Serena Morena defender of
apparently.
I don't care.
I'm a little down on it.
I'm a little down on it too.
Matraka.
I really like this. I don't get pinata at all, but I don't.
I absolutely do.
I get pinata from the hair. The hair.
Really?
I get pinata from the hair and from the pants.
And the pants.
She looks so.
I kind of like it. I like it.
I like it.
It's straight up for me.
Yeah,
her makeup is great.
So this is our highest one.
Yeah.
Position of the colors was well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Placement.
Imagine this walking a runway. I would live. Like,
yeah,
I wish
this could have walked the runway, definitely.
I wish it had.
Mm-hmm.
This is Argennis.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna. I can't see your thumb, Lana. There it is.
Cheap.
It does.
I'm
disappointed.
I just even like it together.
I kind of.
The cape is cute.
It's. I put mid. It's middle ground.
It's mid down.
Yeah.
Step it up.
Vermelha.
Wait, what does the front of this look
like?
No,
this is Pixie.
This is then. Oh, okay.
No.
So we did.
Yeah, we already saw. Yes, this is Pixie 100%.
Okay. No, you're right.
I was a little disappointed. I mean, you can't see the front. She had like a weird face thing on it, but it was okay.
That's not this picture's fault. That's the picture. They took that side picture of her.
I'm gonna say mid.
I'm leaning
pointing slightly up.
Yeah, mid slightly up.
I'm gonna say mid.
Slightly up.
Love the makeup though.
Yeah, and the hair piece. I love that.
Yeah,
all right.
So we get the mini challenge winner, which is Margaret Y Ya.
Good for her.
Good for her.
I thought she had one of the better photos, so
I
I
agree.
was not mad at the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Me, honestly, I think best photo was Regina Voce.
I didn't know
really love her look, but I thought she had the best photo.
Okay.
I like how everyone's just looking at him like.
Anyway,
I love that you have an opinion.
I guess I'm the only one giving an opinion. Great, cool.
Yes. No,
I would love if they would like let the queens choose their own photos, like across all franchises. Like, how about all the pictures and just let them choose the one that they want, you know?
Shoot 20, pick from the like, that's an easy way to make it fast and make it efficient. Like, I agree with you. But so we find out that our maxi challenge is just a runway. Just one.
Their faces too, when he said that it was a runway, they're all like, okay.
Runway.
Like,
everyone's like,
everybody was like waiting for the rest and nothing else came. Because it's just runway.
Just runway. Only one runway. And it is showing off your place of origin.
Or your hometown looks.
A good old hometown runway situation. And that's it.
Yeah, and so we only got one quick conversation in the workroom. We didn't even see them getting ready or anything.
Which I didn't mind.
We go straight from announcing the maxi challenge to boom, it's the next day in the runway, and I'm like, oh, or in the workroom, I'm like, oh, okay, work.
But I'm glad we got this conversation. I really like this conversation from two of the front runners, I think. Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about it a little bit. First, we heard Cristian talking about their wife and child and doing this for them. And I hadn't noticed, but earlier in the episode, they mentioned having a wife and child, but that just went right past me. But then this started, and I'm like, wait a second, I have so many questions now. But I thought it was so sweet when they talked about their wife. They said that it's not something that they would have expected, which that made me even more confused. I'm like, what do you mean by that? And he said, but love is love. And I'm like, wait, are you like dating somebody that you wouldn't typically, or married to somebody you typically wouldn't be with? I was confused altogether.
I feel like maybe he felt like he was strictly gay at one point, just gay, like 100%. And then met this woman and realized maybe I'm bisexual. Maybe I'm not just gay. Maybe I do, or pansexual. You know, maybe he realized that it was more than just the gender of the person who he fell in love with. He just fell in love with that person, and she just happened to be a woman. And so it's like, oh, I didn't see this coming for me, because I thought in my entire life that I was this certain way, and this is who I was attracted to. And then he finds this woman, and she just turns him like head over heels, and like, wow, I met someone who I'm in love with, who I never thought I would be in love with before. And I think that's a beautiful story. I feel like that's just like everybody. We box ourselves in sometimes because we like, this is who I'm supposed to love, and this is who I'm supposed to be with, because this is who I think I am. And we sometimes can turn away people who we could be potentially amazing with, because they're not who we expected to fall in love with. And I love that he was open enough to be like, I didn't see her coming, and now she's my wife, and we have a child, and it's beautiful.
Well, I'll say, if that's his story, please don't tell any of our parents, or especially my parents, because I don't want to hear, see, there's hope for you.
Everybody's story is not the same.
Exactly.
Some people are just what they say they are, and we believe them, and we let them live their life the way they want to live their life. Period. But it was beautiful. I did enjoy that story.
Did you all have thoughts on that before we get to Pixie's story?
Work, bitch. No, I like that these conversations are being had too, because it's normally a conversation of, oh, this is my husband, and it's more for the coming out story. This feels a little bit in a different way. And so I'm like, work. We love having a wife. I don't, because I don't have one, but work for you for having a wife.
It's a beautiful thing.
Right.
My wife's right there.
Aww.
No, but I thought Pixie, when she shared her story about her dad,
Oh,
that was so heartbreaking.
oh God.
Because you just never know when you can lose somebody close to you, and doing it when you're preparing for probably one of, if not her biggest moment in her life, like that's such a disruption. So I respect that she was able to tough it out and still come out on the stage. And if she hadn't come out here, I would have respected that as well. It's a very personal decision, but the whole story about needing to borrow some money to pay a designer, and the dad just was so generous and caring and offering. I just thought that was really sweet. So my heart goes out to Pixie. It was very sad.
Yeah.
30 minutes after, like, that's what's so wild to
Yeah,
me. It's like
that's
it just-
insane.
Right.
As somebody who has lost a parent or both parents, it's so hard, and like I said, it's such a disruption in your life when that happens. But for that to be so close, and like you said, 30 minutes. 30 minutes after that, it's just so crazy, because I remember when I did lose my dad, it was like I had to get peace within myself to be like, okay, this is happening, and you have to get some peace with your life, because if you don't, I'm gonna lose it. And the fact that she was able to say, you know what, yes, this happened, yes, this is tough, but this is still a big moment in my life, and I know he would want me to fulfill all of the dreams that I have in my life, because if he didn't believe in her, he wouldn't have helped her like he did. So I'm like, yeah, she had to do this. She had to do this. And I'm so happy that she did. But I hope she does take the moments that she can to grieve properly and healthily, because it's, yeah, my heart was like, oh, I had to take a minute. I'm going to be transparent. I had to pause for a second and be like, whew, get my life together, girl. This ain't your story, but this is it touched my whole heart.
Yeah.
It touched my whole heart. So, it made me love Pixie even more than I already did. Sickening. She's so sickening. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
What y'all said, genuinely, like, it's just it's one of those stories that just like makes me like Drag Race even more, honestly, because I love that we get to know these people more. A bit heavy for the first episode, but I'm not mad that we learned.
Yeah.
So.
And then just like that,
we're on the runway. Like literally just like that, we're at the runway. It's like, oh,
this is the beginning of the rest of your life.
Okay, I have a favorite. I wonder if my favorite is the same as yours.
Of between the two?
Yes. Oh, there's a
clear favorite.
I like them both.
I think they both look wonderful.
Okay.
Clear favorite for me is Lolita.
Yes.
Lolita 8.
She looks so good.
8 down. 8 down.
Lolita 8.
What was our fellow guest judge wearing?
A half dress
and pants.
It looks way better standing up.
Yes.
But when he's sitting down,
I was
that's
like,
all we see is
it's like somebody tell him to pull his thing.
Pull it up a little.
Like
it looked like a nip slip.
Right. I'm like, please pull it up a little bit.
Like that?
I get what he's trying to do, but he needed to cover the nipples. I'm sorry. Just because sitting down, he needed to cover the nipples. Standing up looks great.
Something. You know?
But yeah, we need to see you have some fabric on you. When he was sitting down, he just looked naked. And I was like, bruh.
I think he just wasn't thinking about what would be visible while he's sitting down, which was most of it.
Most of it, yeah. But he looks hot though. He's kind of cute.
It's Cristian.
That's Cristian. He's cute, but you know, pull it up a little bit. Just
Cristian
on up.
Right, just shimmy it up.
who is a man. And also we have our resident man on the judging panel, Oscar Madrazo, which I think one episode in, I think he fulfilled the job that he was supposed to do, and I'm not offended by him yet.
I'm offended by those boots. I'm offended by those boots. I don't like those boots. But yeah, if I'm the men on the Drag Race panel for me has always disappointed, at least at some point in these episodes that I've watched. Because
don't worry.
Because I'm about to say the Javis.
We need you to watch Down Under because there's my favorite.
Okay.
I was going to say the only two male judges that I don't think I've ever been offended by are Reese Nicholson and Brad Goreski.
I'm not
for me,
but
for me,
that's fair.
I can see it.
Yeah,
but I love Reese.
But yeah.
Category is Mi Tierra.
Mi Tierra. My home.
Yes. And first up is Miss Vallarta representing Puerto Vallarta, I guess.
Oh, she looked like she was repping under the sea.
Maybe unpopular opinion. I really like this. I think she looks good. I think that's a good seahorse. Apparently, it's representing a popular or famous statue in Puerto Vallarta. But I like that we deviated from the pink. She's got a good wig. Her face looks good. I just really like this color. I think she looks good. She did the job. Did the job.
Her blues don't match.
And that's the biggest
don't match. That is the thing that's bothering me.
Yeah.
Like her blues don't match. It's too look at her hand on her cheek and that blue. It's just two different blues. Like if
that's so subtle though.
It's noticeable.
Because her contour is a different color than her base shade of makeup, which is different from the rest of the outfit.
You know, I'm gonna proudly disagree with the judges on a few things tonight. The most of which would probably be this look, because I thought it was good. I thought it was easily better than half of them.
I disagree wholeheartedly. This is my least favorite.
Okay, so this is the thing. I like the dress. Like the dress itself, it's fine. It's a seahorse. I like the different angles of it. It's cute. It's just the blues don't match and it throws me completely off. Her hair is not bad. It's not a bad wig. I don't hate the wig. I just don't like that the blues don't match. It's not the word. It's not horrid. No, it's not good.
It is good to me. But yeah, I just looked. I have, based on my scores, I have 5 above her and 5 below her. I think for myself. I don't let the judges influence me. This is good.
I don't let the judges influence me either. This is the worst look of the night.
Oh, not even close.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. I just want to say I'm not judging their hometown, their Mexican heritage or culture. We're not doing that.
That part.
We're just judging the look as it is presented to us on this TV show. Okay. She came out and I was like, Statue of Liberty tease, okay. No, because I didn't really see the seahorse. Like, it didn't immediately read seahorse. I think it's because it's blue. Well,
and I
green
like that.
or blue. Because it's blue or green, like, it just didn't stick out enough. It just seemed like one of those pieces. Like, I didn't immediately get seahorse. And they did the runway so quick. So I kind of didn't get it until she, came back
very
out.
quick.
Yeah. And then I kind of got to see it. So I was like, okay. And at first I did like it. But then I stare at it longer and I'm like, I don't really like it. The thing, as Lana said, the colors are not matching. I kind of don't like the wig. I'm not a fan of the wig.
It looks better from the front than it did from the back. I'll say that. I didn't like it from the back.
Yeah, the back was Yeah.
I don't like the wig. I don't like the way that the bodysuit, dress, whatever is constructed. Why do you have a random flap in the front where there's a slit? None of this really makes sense to me. I think her face looks fine, but it's a different it's two different colors than the rest of the garment.
It
And
would
even the
have
hair
been.
is a different color. Like,
It would have been sickening if she was the seahorse instead of just having it underdress right there. I think
She's a
that would have.
water. I like, because like you all said, like it doesn't even like stand out the seahorse. It is the garment and it like looks like a garment. And then you look at it closer and you're like, whoa, it's a seahorse too.
I like that part of it. I just don't like the way the garment is constructed.
I like it.
And I don't like the way that she presented it on the runway. That's just
I'm
me.
excited to give my high score for it.
I want to let David go first because I want to hear
gladly
how
will.
his score
We'll go in
is.
reverse order for the runway. That's fine.
Okay, perfect. I gave this a 72. Good job, Miss Vallarta. I see you. I see you, girl.
Honestly, probably a 25.
Actually, I will give it a 50. It's not horrible. It's just not great. It's just meh for me.
20.
All right.
Next up is Regina Voce.
Yeah.
Why was she stomping down the runway so hard?
Oh, her runway walk. I was like, oh, dear God.
I was like,
work, bitch. Like,
who are you trying to kill?
Why
Like,
are the
she was
feathers so flimsy
stomping.
too?
That, and because she walked so hard, they were bouncing up and down so much, and that was just
like I am the outfit currently. I am the wings. The wings are going like this. I'm like, what's happening?
Yes, I was like,
I do like that the skirt lights up. I don't know if y'all noticed that
under
there
the
are
black
LEDs.
light.
There's LEDs in the skirt. I really like.
Oh,
that.
I thought it was just under the black lights in the back of the stage, but you could be right.
I think it was lights that were put into the gown. I could be wrong, but
I will say this: her face is beat. Like paint is painting right now. She looks gorgeous. Yeah, I think her walk during the runway deterred the kind of like sullied the look a little bit because it's not a bad look. No. It's just I just feel like she presented it wrong. Like it was too much in the presentation that it took away from the garment. Looking at this picture now, I'm kind of like reevaluating some things that I thought when I first saw it. Like I do like the mirror corset. I wish the panels of the skirt were the same as the corset, but I guess she had to do something with because she put the lights in the skirt. But I don't hate this look. I kind of like it. I think she accessorized it great. I love the big dramatic earring and whatever. And the headpiece, I just feel like she presented it wrong on the runway. But looking at this picture, I'm not hating it totally. I like it more looking at the picture than I did on the runway.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. I do like it, but it definitely has its flaws. I think it's very busy and very clashy.
Yes.
But it's got a lot of good parts to it. My biggest issue is those wings. They just look so flimsy. I want to see like Courtney Act type of wings here with this look. But yeah, her face looks great. That's the best part, I think. But overall, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Top of the corset down, I don't mind. Her makeup is pretty. I kind of feel like she did a little bit too much. Like shoulders up because she has the stuff on her shoulders and then the wings and then the big earrings and then the necklace. She probably could have lost the necklace and kept the earrings, and then she has the little
feathers off.
Yeah, it's like a little too much. And because it's all like kind of one color, it just kind of.
I was gonna say along the same lines as what you said, Mr. Talented, and what you said, David. For me, it's the Coco Chanel effect. I need a couple of things taken off of this.
Mhm.
I think ultimately she wanted to show so many aspects of, I believe Mexico City is where she's from. I could be wrong. Mexico City, yeah. I feel like she wanted to show so many aspects of Mexico City, and it ultimately ended up making the whole garment a little bit incohesive. I also don't love, she has no shape in this corset at all. She has no shape. It is a straight up and down pole body, as Jasmine Masters would say. And it just, I want, if you're going to do this, I honestly think it would have been a lot more effective had you done just the wings and this like angel idea. Just do that for the whole garment, a la Courtney Act. And I think that would have been a lot more of a successful look.
Yeah.
Because even in her explanation of it, she's like, I'm doing this to represent this, and I'm doing this to represent this, and this represents this. And I'm like, it's so much.
Yes, I agree. I am ready to score if you all are.
Go for it.
And so this is going to be my 7th best of the night. I think it's perfectly safe. I gave it a 64.
Mm-hmm. I'll give her a 50.
I will give her 60.
I'm going to match that 60.
Look how generous I am compared to everybody else.
4 points. Calm down, sir.
I doubt I'm going to be as generous on this one.
I'm ready to fight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then we are, because I did not like this. I didn't hate it, though. Just compared to everybody else, it's lacking for me, and it looks a little cheap.
The only part that looks cheap to me is the tulle part. Like, I wish the dress itself went a little bit further to the ground, and then probably like the edge be the tulle, and that would have been fine. But because it's like by her knee and then all that tulle, that is kind of the only thing that I really dislike about it.
Take away the tulle. I don't think it needs it.
Even
I think
that
this short asymmetrical, I would have the skirt go maybe like an inch longer. But I think like just get rid of the tulle, the short asymmetrical moment. The focus is the glove. And so if you want the glove to be the focus, take away kind of everything else and make it a little bit more simplistic. For me, this is not my absolute favorite, but I thought she was very solidly safe. I really like the way that the gown is constructed minus the tulle on the bottom. And I love the gloves. And I think the performance of the outfit also was really, really strong.
Okay, the tulle we cannot see, right?
What do you mean?
Are you all talking about something we can't see? Because I don't see
the
tulle.
orange at the bottom.
Oh, that's
orange.
tulle? That doesn't look like tulle to me.
Well,
that
whatever the
like...
material is. I don't know.
It is tulle.
Okay.
It was tulle.
It is
okay,
tulle.
you all could be right. I just couldn't tell from this picture.
I don't remember it walking the runway, honestly. I was more focused on what was happening in the face and the gloves and whatnot. So.
Cute face.
Yeah.
Makeup looks great.
Looks good.
I kind of didn't like that I could see her underwear too when she lifted it up. That's why I wished it went down somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it definitely, I feel like if you took away the tulle, which I agree with you, take that orange part off the bottom of the dress, make the dress a little bit longer, make it asymmetrical, yes, but make it so it's not showing off your underwear in the where the part that comes up. Just bring it down just a tad, and it would have been a perfectly good dress still with. And if the focus is the gloves, then that's the dress itself didn't need to be much. The gloves and the wings, I guess, is the focus. I think it looks okay. I think it's okay. It's not fantabulous. I'm not falling over it. I'm just it's okay. It's okay. Perfectly safe.
Yeah. I just like anytime something gives me chicken, that's not a good thing. Like, I don't know if that's the specific bird she was going for, but did not like anything about the gloves or the wings. Like,
but
even it looks very plasticky. I don't know.
I mean, I think the wings are satin, but I think the chicken,
the black part.
I think that's satin-ish kind of material. But I think the whole thing is the chicken, because the chicken is very important and big in Mexico. It's right. It's a big thing. So I think it was supposed to be chicken. So
I wish he had just made it more fashion. Like, this doesn't give me parts of it does, the middle part, but the actual gloves look like a really cheap chicken costume. Like, I do not like that part.
You want fashion chicken gloves.
I want something better than this. It's just not that great for me.
Okay.
It's not my worst look of the night.
Okay. Scores?
The worst?
It's not the worst for me. It is the second worst. I gave this a 45.
Damn.
45's not that low. Come on.
No, I'm
slightly below average.
I'm making this face because you said it was the second worst of the night, because that's not.
She would have been in my bottom two easily.
Really? I'm intrigued to see what you thought about the other one.
I wouldn't say easily, because my one above her isn't that much above her.
Okay.
I will give this a 55, actually.
Mr. Talented, did you give your score?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I jumped in. I jumped the gun. I'm sorry.
You're fine. I'll give her 70.
I'm going to give this a 75.
Okay.
Cristian Peralta.
Okay.
Thank God it was a reveal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because this would have been my least favorite look.
Yeah, if this brown would have been the end all be all for this look, I would have been very upset with this look. But
unless the category was Hershey Kiss Couture.
It kind of also looks like. No, go ahead, Lana. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You know that the game equivalent to Talking Tom, the pool, it kind of looked like that to me.
Oh, it looks like a poop
as
emoji.
well as a Hershey Kiss combined.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like the poop emoji. I mean, it does. It does. It looks like the poop emoji. But I feel like she literally changed my whole outlook of it when she revealed what was underneath it. I enjoyed this look. I feel like she gave the performance that this look needed. And it was really, really good, because of course we've seen in the Mexican culture the ribbon dress and the ribbon dance, and how it's very beautiful to see them do it. And the fact that she did that with this reveal and made a performance out of it, I loved it. I was very happy. And then I was like, yeah, she's on my team. Thank you. I loved this look once the reveal happened.
Yeah. So before I started this episode with my roommate, I had already seen it, and I told him, I'm like, Cristian goes home first. And he's like, you wouldn't say that to me if she did. And then when we started watching it and she came out in this brown look, I'm like, you still think I was joking about her going home first? And he's like, maybe not. But then when she does her reveal, like, I'll be honest, like, the blue dress, like, it looks good. It's not amazing, but what was amazing was her delivery of it, and the spinning and the twirling, and then the cut to Lolita just clapping her hands off. Like, it was everything.
This was a very Lolita Banana inspired reveal.
Oh yeah. Yes, we got tricks. What was it that Valentina say? Whatever the word is for tricks in Spanish, she kept saying tricks on tricks on tricks. It was one trick, but it was a lot of fun. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Before the reveal, the reveal was necessary, because if it wasn't for the reveal, I was been like, what is this? The reveal was executed well, flawlessly. I like the look. I don't really love it, but I do like it, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
I hated the original look, and I'm glad there was a reveal. I don't think this was my favorite look of the night. However, I think this was very successful, and it was my favorite performance of a look of the night. So
Very fair.
that's where
Yeah, you said that perfectly.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, so my score has nothing to do with the first look because that was just a gateway to get to what we got to. And my score is highly dependent on her performance of a decent look. Third best of the night for me, I gave her an 80.
Yeah, I'll also give her an 80.
I will match the 80s, honestly.
80s,
Whoa.
80s across the board. Yeah. Next up, Margaret Y Ya.
Where are those chopsticks? I love Margaret. But I do not love this look.
Her. This ain't it, mama.
How does her city feel about her saying, I'm coming to represent Mexico City? Here's trash and pigeons.
Probably not great. I have to be really honest, though. This caution tape garbage bag stole is everything.
If it was a design challenge.
No, outside of it. I love it. There's something so stupid about it in the best possible way for me. I don't like the gown. Let me make that very clear. I don't like the gown. I love the message and I love the stole. And I love that she just has a pigeon on her head.
The worst part is the makeup. Her makeup went from being really cute and fun, and then she has like these horrendous outlines to everything. And I'm like, this looks so bad. Every time they cut to a close-up of her face, I'm like, please, get away. I don't want to see this up close because this is hideous makeup. Some of the worst makeup I've ever seen on the Drag Race stage.
Ooh.
That bird took a dump on her face, and that's why. No, that's what I think it looks like. Like the makeup looks like the bird took a dump on her face. Like, the makeup and the dress, no, like, yeah. Yeah, I don't mind the garbage and the caution tape, little boa thing or whatever.
Mm.
But the dress itself and everything else, no.
Lana, what do you think?
I have no words for this.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I'll get to it now. I was gagged that she was not in the bottom two.
Like,
this was the worst. Like, like what? Yeah, I have no words. She will be getting my second plea of the night because.
Like, how was she not in the bottom?
How was she not in the bottom? How was she not in the bottom?
How was she not? Like, what?
Not in the bottom with this look? What?
Well, should we score?
Yeah, I was going to say, go for it, David.
Okay. So I probably sound like I hate it way more than I do, but it was the worst of the night, definitively. I still, because there's some concept to it and there are some decent parts to it, I still gave her a 38, which is probably generous, but yeah.
For the stole, I'll give her a 15.
The stole cannot save this look. It is a please, please. Because that makeup just drug it all the way back down. Whatever points I was giving her for the stole, the makeup was like, absolutely not. So, no.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think this was the worst of the night, and therefore it's going to be reflected in my score. I'm actually going to match David's 38 because I was going to give this a 40. But to be cute, I'll also give this a 38.
I don't understand.
And that's all for the soul and the pin on her head.
Cannot understand how we say this is not the worst of the night. Because
wait,
okay.
Logan, you don't think that was the worst of the night?
No.
You think the green one was?
Miss Vallarta.
Okay.
Anyway, Gala Varo.
This is cute. I like her. I really like this headpiece. This headpiece is so cute. And you can't even see how like glistening and glittery it is from this
How
picture.
was she not in the top?
How was she
not in the top?
I thought that at first, but then when I analyzed the lineup, I would have put someone else in the top over someone who was in the top.
She would have been, if I was just going off the looks alone, she would have been in my top. I did bump Cristian above her based on the delivery, but I had a very clear top 2 looks, whom we have not gotten to yet. But I really do like this. The butterflies works. I did like it better with the cape on when she took it off. It was like, okay, there's not much to see there. But overall, I thought this was a very, very, very solid job from her. So I'm excited. I'm excited about Gala.
I thought this was so good. The continuity of all of the fabrics together was good. The cape, the headpiece, the makeup. I'm sorry. This was one of the best of the night. And I would have replaced 2 of the people in the top, quite personally. And I think Gala should have been there.
Fair.
I agree. I think she looks fantabulous. Like the cape itself, like it's just breathtaking. Just that cape and that headpiece together. It's like wow. And then when she took it off, I was like, okay, it's still cute, still pretty, but I need the cape. The cape gives me all the life that I want and need out of this outfit. But her makeup, everything about it, she looks fantastic. She was definitely one of my favorites of this runway.
Yeah, she did a great job. She looked amazing. I loved the butterflies. It didn't feel oversaturated. I'm glad she didn't just throw a bunch of them towards the bottom half of the garment and kept it more towards the headpiece and the top. Yeah, I love the little glistening of her corset and her cape and her pants. She looks great. I liked it.
Are we ready to score?
Yep.
Okay. I was going to give her a 78. I'm bumping it up to an 81, which now makes her in my top 3 and bumps Cristian to number 4.
Thank you.
LOL. Yeah, I'll give her an 88.
I'll give her a 90.
Let me give her a 96.
Work.
So next is Vermelha Noir.
It's not bad.
No, it's not. I would not put. I would not give out the chopsticks on this. It's not.
I definitely will be.
She should have been bottom 2.
What'd you say?
She shouldn't have been bottom 2.
No,
I agree.
I don't think she should have been bottom 2.
She should have been bottom 3.
For me, she would have been a low safe. It's very busy, but there's some really great things. Like the headpiece is great. I love that wig. I love her makeup. It's just the lower we get, the less I like it.
Yes.
And it just starts to clash a bit.
Why do you have on a loose fitted legging for this look? The entire black bodysuit underneath, I don't get. And that's what throws it off the most for me. It's like I don't know if that's like a specific thing that she does,
it could
or
be
if that's
a
like
cultural thing to her city.
I just don't know. But I'm like, it throws off the entire look for me because the actual dress and the headpiece I really like. It's just I don't if it's supposed to be like she's blacking out everything else and you're supposed to see all the colorful detail, then I get that. But I like the concept of this. The execution just for me just isn't all the way there.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I would rather the bodysuit be a more fitting bodysuit. That way, if we're going to say we're blacking off the so you see the colors and everything pop, I would rather it not be so loose fitting. But I still think the colors are great. I like how the colors match with the hair to the dress, and even though it's a little busy, it's still a concept is there. And so I can appreciate that. It's just some, like you said, execution wasn't the best. I want to see more flawless execution in that, but it's not horrible. I don't believe she should have been in the bottom two. I don't believe this was the worst looks, but yeah, safe, but low safe, sure. Bottom two, absolutely not.
What concerns me is that this should have been her week. This is what I expect her strength to be. So if she's already in the bottom two, which like I said, I don't think she deserved to be bottom two, but she was bottom half for sure for me. If that's happening already, I'm very worried about her trajectory in this competition. I hope she can prove everybody wrong, though.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, the leggings being loose kind of takes away from the outfit. For me, what she probably could have done to make it look a little bit more presentable and little less busy. The stuff on her shirt, she could have probably taken that off and just worn a necklace, maybe. Have one of those things as a necklace and take the rest of them off the shirt itself. Maybe that would have done something better. But I like the headpiece. I like the makeup, and I like the poofy skirt little thing. I like that. I think those are cute. But with everything together, it kind of just doesn't look the best.
If anybody in the comments gets this and we're just completely missing something, please let us know.
Yeah.
I'm ready to score if you all are.
Yep.
I gave this a 51. It was my number 8 of the night.
I'll give her 15.
Yeah, I'll match the 50. I think the 50 is good.
50.
Why are you bringing out chopsticks for a 50?
Right.
No, it's okay. You do you.
Because I can, David. Because I can. Next up is Argennis.
Until she took this off, this was fine. Until she took this thing off, this was honestly fine.
And now Valentina being like, "Oh, baby has a diaper. I need my diaper changed."
I was like, girl. I think this is fine. I was really surprised. Yeah.
I couldn't believe she.
Anyway, I was surprised by how underwhelmed I was by Argennis on a whole in this episode, honestly. Like she was someone that like really stood out to me in the Meet the Queens, and then you get to this episode, and obviously it's one episode, so I'm very open-minded, and I hope that she shows a little bit like better stuff. For me, it just I like this cover up, and then I agree, Mr. Talented, when she took it off, I was like, oh.
Put it back on.
Please put it back on.
Put it back on.
Put it back on.
I'd like you to keep it on, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. With the other girl, we were like, I'd like you to take it off, please. Her, we were like, I'd like you to put it
on. Christian, we're like, please take it off.
Please take it off.
Please keep it on.
For sure. Please keep it on.
Yeah. Even this, like itself, is fine to me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like I didn't like it. Great, it's great that it was hand painted,
mm-hmm.
and sure, it probably represents her city well. Porter just didn't blow me away. It was disappointing.
I mean, her face is beat. Like, she looks gorgeous. I'm loving her
Face
makeup,
is
right?
great.
But I'm like, once you took that thing off, it was like, oh no. Oh no.
Mhm.
I like the
It-
head wrap. The makeup is definitely the best makeup she showed on this episode. I love the shoe too. I love this sort of like wrapped moment. It's very unique and different from other like strappy shoes that I've seen. I really enjoy that. So, scores?
Okay, so when I said Serena was clearly in my bottom two, and I'm like, maybe not clearly. It's because she could have been in my bottom two as well, and I wouldn't have been mad. She was my 9th of the night. I gave her a 48.
Yeah. It's tricky because I really love the first piece, but I really don't like the second piece. And with Christian, I really didn't like the second piece, and I like the first piece. She'll get a 15. She'll get a 15.
I was trying to calculate what I would have given her if she would have just left that on.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking she probably would have been like a 65, well, maybe like a 70 if she would have just kept that on. But she took it off. So she got to get docked for taking that off. But I'm trying to figure out how far down does she go because she took it off, because it really was bad underneath that for me. Because nobody wants to say you were in a diaper. You don't want nobody to say you were in a diaper. And so I'm thinking.
And that's why I didn't show the reveal look, by the way. I was like, I don't get it anymore.
You were being kind to her.
You're being kind to her.
To Argennis in this moment.
Yeah. So I would probably give it a 45.
I'm going to give her a 55.
Everything after this is smooth sailing. So.
Because next up is Matraka. Bitch.
This was so good.
How did she not win?
I mean, seriously, based on who the top three were, she
They
should.
They were really blown away by the reveal, but I'm like, okay, but the look itself isn't all that.
That part.
Yeah. I was confused. I was like, wait, there was a reveal here? But
No.
You're talking about Cristian. Yeah.
I mean, look, the reveal was nice, but it wasn't the whole look. And I feel like they should judge it on the whole look. This whole look is amazing.
Period.
And someone else's whole look was amazing. They weren't even at the top.
We'll talk about it.
We sure shall.
But
yeah.
Matraka, headpiece. This headpiece. I can't even. This headpiece. Like, Matraka's been giving this whole episode. Matraka's just giving goodness. It's just giving, and she's been giving good all this whole way through. And even like, I'm not a very pattern person, and I'm like, a lot of times people wear a lot of patterns and things, and it like throws me off. Her patterns work. The detail with the tights and the arm, the sleeves matching with the little wrap around on the dress that matches the skirt. I mean, that matches the tights, that matches the gloves. It's just going so good.
That matches the flowers in the hair.
Right. It's just so good, which matches the flowers in the whatever she's holding over there. She's so meticulous, and it's beautiful. And then even with the little mask, it's just like I live for this look.
I live.
Yep. I think she has a very like eye for specific details, and you can have a lot of details without it clashing, like Regina. You can have a lot of details without it looking super busy, like Vermelha. And she just nails it perfectly. Like the details without it just overwhelming you. If anything, it overwhelms you in a good way. So yeah, I really love this. I think this.
I would also like to point out Matraka is 24.
Oh wow.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
She's giving me Raja from season 3 of
Yes.
US Drag Race, but the Mexican version. I think she's winning.
Okay. All right.
I do. Are we ready to score?
Sure.
Okay. I gave this a very high 89.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her a 98.
Yeah, I would like a 99. You know what? It's done and close to perfect, but I'll give it a 99.
Full.
Okay.
Mm.
She
Very
looks
fair.
great.
I'm
She looks
surprised all
great.
of you didn't give it a full.
I know. I'm kind of surprised I'm the only one.
Ooh.
Ah,
Bitch.
Pixie.
Mm-mm.
Oh my
Why
god.
was she not in the top?
How is she not?
And she literally is wearing something that is very similar to something that Valentina fucking wore on her season.
But better.
But better.
Ooh, should have been the top. Only thing critique I have for this, I just wish the chest was tighter to her body. I wish it was a closer fit to her body. Because when she walked, you could see like a little space. You know, I just wish it was closer.
I mean, that did not stand out to me, but you could be right. I'd have to watch it a third time. But my first 2 times, I love this, and this was my favorite of the night. Yeah, hands down, I think she had the best run this episode. Do I think she's gonna win the season? No, because they're not giving her enough credit this episode. But I
It's
really
one
hope.
episode, David. We still have
I
a
know,
lot of Drag
it's one
Race to
episode.
go.
She's still one of my 3 that I think could win.
But
But yeah, I think this is so beautiful. I really love all of the I don't even know how to describe them. They're kind of like little stitches going up her dress. Actually, big stitches going up her dress. I think those are really cool.
the ribboning details.
Yeah. That's it.
Right, yeah.
Man, everything's right with this.
Mm-hmm. I have nothing to say. I'm in love. The second she turned the corner on that runway, I was like, yes, work. Period. Scores.
Yeah. I didn't say it. Matraka was my number 2 for the night. This is my number 1, and she gets a 92 from me.
I'm gonna give her a 98.
I am very much overflowing.
I'm full.
Yeah.
And last up is Lady Kero. I really like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all put together in a very, very nice way. I just it not as severe as Regina Voce, but I do also still I find the Coco Chanel effect in a little bit here. I just wish there was one less element. I don't know what that element is necessarily. I like it a lot and everything goes together really beautifully. Maybe I just don't need the cape in the back. I think that's the part for me that I would have taken away. But I think overall this is very, very good. And again, I'm very, very happy with what Lady Kero showed in this episode. And she's quickly become one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like it. I like the look. I think she was good. I think it's pretty. It works. I like the headpiece. Even like the matching shoulder piece with the headpiece. Um, I don't know. I don't. I'm not like super excited like I was with Pixie and with Matraka, but I don't hate it. So it's not the worst. I'm just not super super wild. So perfectly safe, perfectly great, perfectly good. I'll say that perfectly good.
Yeah, agreed. For me, she probably had my 4th favorite look of the night. Yeah, it's okay. You know, it's nothing exciting. You know, it's fine.
It's a wedding dress. Great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing for me is like that type of like wedding dress look. And I don't know that this specifically was trying to be a wedding dress, but that type of look is never going to be my favorite. It's never going to be my favorite. But she did very well with a type of look that does not typically appeal to me. I actually like most of the additions that she has on here. She's easily the biggest surprise of the episode for me. So I do appreciate this. I'm happy she got a spot in the top, even if there was at least one or two people that should have been there instead. But she seems so sweet, and I'm just glad she got that positive feedback.
I agree.
She's a front runner for Miss Congeniality for me, honestly.
We even said that in the cast assessment. It felt like from the meet the queen, she was like already competing for Miss Congeniality.
I forgot,
which I'm not mad at, and like I think she's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
So, scores.
So this for me was the 5th best of the night. I gave her a 75.
Yeah, it's also 75.
I would say 78.
I'm gonna give this an 87. I really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Good for her.
Good for her.
Good for you, girl. So we find out that our top 3 are Cristian Peralta, Lady Kero, and Matraka. For me,
for me,
I would have kept Matraka. I would have swapped out the other 2, and I would have put in Gala Varo and Pixie Pixie.
Agreed. Exactly the same.
I do agree, but I think it was close enough between Cristian, Lady Kero, and Gala that any of them could have taken that 3rd spot. But honestly, Pixie absolutely should have been in there.
Yeah, Pixie should have definitely been in the top.
She should have won tonight.
Well, she didn't, and we have another winner, and that's Cristian Peralta. Which, you know what?
Good for her.
Happy for her.
Great delivery.
Right.
I like her. She had my favorite performance of a look of the evening, so I am not mad at this outcome. I would have picked Matraka.
For sure.
In that 3, I would have picked Matraka too. In that 3.
When they said, "Oh, go ahead."
Yeah, I would have picked Matraka for that 3, but I understand why Cristian won because of the performance, and I get it, but it should be about the overall look, and that first look looked like poop. But
nah, because when they said Makrata, I was like, "When?" And then she was like, "You're safe." I was like,
"Yeah,
okay."
So the reason why when you were saying, David, that Matraka is your winner pick, the reason I'm hesitant is because Cristian Peralta on this season already feels like the shut-on effect. And so I'm just going to go ahead and pretty much say I feel like Cristian Peralta is going to win the season. I would not be upset about that given what we have seen thus far on the season.
I do think it's a 3-horse race. Honestly, like I hate saying this. I hate ruling anybody out. It's one episode. But Pixie, Matraka, Cristian, they're all giving winner energy, and the judges are reciprocating that for the most part. So I would be surprised if one of those is not our winner. But I'd love to be surprised.
That's fine, David. Anyway. We do get a bottom 3. And it is Miss Vallarta, Margaret Y Ya, and Vermelha Noir.
I don't agree with that.
I agree with the bottom 3.
Really? Okay.
I don't think Vermelha.
I agree with 1.
I do agree with. I agree with 2. I don't agree with Vermelha. I don't think she should be in the bottom.
Would you have swapped out, Lana?
Well, yeah.
If I had to swap, I probably would have put
Regina?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Wait,
who?
Wait.
Argennis. Was it Argennis?
No, yeah.
The diaper?
The diaper. Argennis. That's who I would have put in there.
Okay.
That is who I would have put in there.
Okay.
Because that reveal, you wearing a diaper, baby. No. Yeah, I
Mr.
would have
Conley,
switched.
what about you?
Yeah, I definitely agree with the two. I don't disagree with Vermelha. I feel like I'm saying her name wrong.
Vermelha.
Yes, please forgive me.
I got you.
But if I had to switch her out, I probably would have put Regina.
Okay. Fair.
Regina or Argy.
Argennis.
Yeah. But I loved her first look so much. But it's like that reveal just took away from it.
Yeah, and like I said, for me, Miss Vallarta would not have been anywhere near the bottom three. I wouldn't have Vermelha in there either. It definitely would have been Margaret in the bottom two, and with either Serena or Argennis.
No, that's
Serena.
that's disrespectful. No.
I didn't
I
like
mean,
that chicken.
I don't think it's disrespectful. I mean, I could see it, but I don't think I would. I think Serena would have been perfectly safe for me.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I still gave her a decent score.
But I don't agree with this bottom three though, because I feel and I definitely don't agree with the bottom two.
I agree with the bottom three. I don't agree with the bottom two either. Our bottom two is Miss Vallarta and Vermelha. I think it
I was
should
shocked.
This bottom three. I think it should have been Miss Vallarta and Margaret.
Well, I don't agree with that, but
Yeah,
I
we know
agree
because
with
we put Serena in the bottom.
well, no, I mean out of the bottom three, I would have had Miss Vallarta save.
Oh.
Yeah, I've made it clear she was my sixth best of the night. So I thought it was a good look.
Out of 11, she was your sixth.
Right in the middle.
I would have had Margaret Y Ya, and it would have been if this was the bottom three with how they had it, it would have been Vallarta and Margaret. But I do think Margaret and Argennis should have been the bottom two. Because once you take that thing off, that's part of the outfit, and I got to judge you on that too.
Yeah,
You got to go. You got to go. Ooh.
Now I think about it, I would probably have to swap Vermelha with Diaper Lady. I'm so sorry.
Argennis.
Yes, the names are just so hard. Yeah, but yeah. That it just throws it off. Like, girl, just keep it on. Just keep it on.
That was so unforgivable.
Makeup should have been in the bottom two.
100%.
100%.
Agreed.
Definitely.
But she's still so likable.
Right. She is likable, but that was bad.
Well, we got Miss Vallarta and Vermelha lip syncing to En la Oscuridad by Belinda. This is a great song for a lip sync, and they just didn't know the words.
It was a lot of words.
Baby. When I say
nope.
This lip sync.
Oh, child. This lip sync.
They could have made this an 8-episode season and send them both home.
No.
Absolutely not.
Did you say absolutely not? Or that?
I feel like with it being episode 1, and given that they honestly felt they made a mistake putting the wrong two people in the bottom two, since they did anyway. But I think being episode 1 of the very first season of Drag Race Mexico entirely, they made the best decision that they could have made, because this lip sync was not good. And I think a lot of it was a lot of nerves, they did not know the words. They were not prepared. And I get it. You should know you're coming on Drag Race. You should be prepared, blah, blah, blah. This is their very first inaugural episode of the very first Drag Race. And I felt like they were like, we have to show some kind of compassion somewhere. and they had the episodes to do it. So I agree with the decision that they made because it's like they're a brand new franchise. They just starting off. They're babies. Give it a minute. We can't treat them like they all stars. And they've been doing this for some seasons, and they got a lot of. They have nothing to compare it to from their side, from Mexico. Like they don't have a drag race season prior to them, so they can say we can compare this to. This is their first inauguration. I agree. I understand why they were like, you know what? We go give it another chance. We go start over, and y'all better get it right because I would have done the same thing. I would have done the same thing.
Me too. In fact, like I would be happy if every franchise of Drag Race did not have an elimination in the first episode. Like I want to see at least 2 episodes from everybody, and I do think these 2 have more to show. Personally, they were not in my bottom 3. So I want to see what they have to deliver. I know Vermelha is going to be bringing us some really good looks. And it would have been really sad to be robbed so quickly of her. And honestly, I know this is super unpopular, but people are saying this is the worst lip sync they've ever seen. This is not the worst lip sync. They were not very good at all. Sure, they were missing some words. They were behind on some words, but they were okay. They were okay. They could have been way better. I don't think it was double sachet worthy, personally.
Mr. Talda, I'll let you give your thoughts because I know my thoughts are very different from everybody else here.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I like that they were compassionate with the queens, but then if you wanted to do that, I feel like from get-go it should have just been no one's gonna go home. Like just make it
top 2 lip sync.
After you let them lip, you could have did a top 2 lip sync. Just say you didn't want anyone to go home and do a top 2 lip sync. But for them to lip sync and give such a terrible performance and you say it was bad and then not send them home, it's kind of iffy. That's the only problem. Like, if you didn't want anyone to go, that's fine, It's their first time, let them get a little 2 episodes in. But to have them do the lip sync and then just keep them both, that's the iffy part.
But see, I don't think that was the intention. I don't think they went in saying we want both of them to stay. I think they went in saying they wanted one of them to go, whoever gave a bad lip sync. But they both gave an equally bad lip sync. And it was like
they both should have gone home.
But then it's like that's like, okay, but they showed a little compassion. I'm not going to fault them for showing compassion on their very inaugural first season of their drag race. And it's like, look, this is huge for these girls. And they're up there doing their best. Or they're for the first time and they're up there, giving a lip sync, and it just wasn't good. So in order to just be like, on the first episode, both of y'all go home. That's like, dang, they're all savages. I don't mind showing compassion and saying, you know what, we'll go give y'all another try, but you can't come if you don't come next week with the fire. You're going home. Period. And if next week they say 2 of y'all going home, I wouldn't be mad at that either, because it's like we gave warnings. Y'all in the back who was watching, y'all saw this. That's the warning. For the 2 of you who was up here, this is your warning. Now, if you end up back on this stage for a lip sync and you mess it up, you're gone. That's it. No more warning. So I don't mind the warning. And I don't think their intention was going to let 2 people stay anyway. I don't think that was how it was going to be. It was just, I think the lip syncs were just so equally bad that it was like picking between the 2 was almost impossible because they were both bad. So it's like, do you send them home and then we gotta, make up a show later on down the line for now we done lost somebody? Do we bring somebody back, or do we just keep them? Give them a warning, and next week they got to be on their game. Because, like, remember in España when the very first week of España, when they were like, this runway was horrible. We had so many flaws and so many mistakes in this runway. It was tucks coming out. It was padding. We saw it. They gave them the warning, and so they could shape it up for next week, which eventually they did. So I feel like this is for them. This was their warning week. So I don't hate the compassion. Now, if they would have sent them home, okay, they would have sent them home, and it would have been like, oh well, you signed up for this, but they chose compassion. So I'm not mad at that either.
And that's my exact point. Is like this is also not the first drag competition reality show in Mexico. These girls know what to expect when they come to Drag Race. I want to make it very clear as well. I very much so enjoy Miss Vallarta and Vermelha, and had one or both of them gone home, I would have been upset. I would have been like, oh, damn, I wish they would have shown more. However, that, for me, is the least deserving double save ever.
Well, yes, but the standard is very high for that.
Not all of the double saves are very high standard of lip sync.
Okay, they're high. They're not very high. I should
on a whole, yes. I feel like, because there's only one other franchise that has done a double save on episode 1 of their premiere season, and that's Italia.
We saw how that went. We saw how that
went. I'm worried. And I think my other biggest issue is now there is no possibility for a double save when I know for a fact some of these girls are going to get on that stage during a lip sync for your life later in the season, and it's going to be double save worthy. And we're all going to sit here saying it's double save worthy, and there's no double save.
Yeah.
For me, I could have picked a winner of this lip sync. For me, I think Miss Vallarta's performance was a little bit better, and she knew more of the words. So for me, I would have saved Miss Vallarta in this moment, and unfortunately just lost Vermelha, and it would have been devastating.
I wouldn't have been ready for that.
I see your point, and yeah, we probably are not going to get another double save of a more deserving double save, which is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
But we shouldn't expect that. We don't get that usually ever on a first season for a franchise. So I don't think that should be the expectation. For me, this is just a bye week for the first week. I don't necessarily agree with Lana. I think it might have been a plan all along.
I don't think it was the plan.
So
I don't think you can plan both of them being bad at a lip sync and not knowing the
I've heard that this was supposed to be a 12-person cast and someone had to drop.
That's probably why.
Well, then why then?
There was a possibility for it. I'm mad that it was used on a lip sync of this caliber, because this, for me, was not a deserving lip sync for a double save. And I respect all the other opinions on it, and I understand what everybody else is saying about it. Just for me, this was not double save worthy. Based on this lip sync and this lip sync alone, and I hate saying this, I think Vermelha should have gone home. And I don't want to say that because I think she's incredibly talented and I want to see more out of her. But based on this lip sync, Vermelha was the worst.
Yeah, if we're going to base on judging on the lip sync alone, yeah, Vermelha was probably the worst and probably should have gone if they were going to pick somebody. But do I agree with you that they probably wasted a double save when it could have gone to a double save on a really great lip sync? Sure, because I feel like it's going to be a moment in the season where two queens get up there and just give it everything they have, and it's going to be amazing. And we're like, oh, they were both so good, but can't save. There's no room for a double save anymore. So I get it. I understand it. I agree with you. But I also agree with the fact that their double save is meant to be used however they see fit. And the double save, they felt like this just needed to be a warning for the girls. And so instead of making it where like two amazing people get saved, it's like this, we'll use it for the warning for you all to get it together now, so we can have moments where everybody's great and we're just like, oh no, we're losing somebody spectacular.
And I'm happy that all 11 of them get to show in more than one episode. I'm very happy about that. I'm also a little bit worried now, given this first episode, I'm a little bit worried about the judging capabilities of Valentina and Lolita. I'm going to be very honest. If you can't make a decision in episode 1, and for me, a lot of the decisions that were made for the tops and the bottoms, I didn't agree with, I'm a little worried now.
I'm
I'm not worried. I'm super optimistic. I think this is going to be a great season.
I think it will be too. I'm just.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay optimistic because I feel like it's just the first episode, and I don't want to get too bogged down on things in the first episode, because I feel like if we do that, then we set expectations that didn't need to be set that early. So I'm still open. I'm still like we can turn it around or we can do whatever. It was a good overall. The episode was amazing. These queens came out and they did what needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
They looked amazing. At some point of the show, I think everybody looked good. At some point of the show, everybody had a look that I was like, you know what? I like it. So I'm happy. I thought it was so. I watched it very early when it came out.
Yeah.
When it came on, I was like, "Oh, it's out!" I'm watching it right away because I was just that excited, and I was happy I did. So I'm excited about this season.
Very thrilled. So we're gonna close with some draft updates. I'm not thrilled about these updates, but we're giving them anyway. So as a reminder for people that did not watch our cast assessment, Team Lana is Pixie Pixie, Regina Voce, Cristian Peralta, and Lady Kero. Team David is Pixie Pixie as well. Because there are 11 queens, one queen got picked twice. Lana and David both took their first picks and chose Pixie Pixie, as they should. So, Team David is Pixie Pixie, Matraka, Gala Varo, and Argennis.
Ooh, I got a good team.
And Team Logan, oh boy. Margaret Y Ya, Vermelha Noir, Serena Morena, and Miss Vallarta. Yes, I had the entire bottom three on my team.
Damn.
So, our current standings, in third place with 0 points is me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God Margaret won the mini challenge, or else my score would have been -1. I originally hadn't factored it in, and I did it in my brain. I was like, oh yeah, I have -1 points, and then I forgot that Margaret won the mini challenge. So thank you, Margaret. In second place with 6 points is David. And Lana is currently leading the draft with 10 points.
Ooh.
So,
although we all thought the top three should have been my first 3 draft picks.
Literally.
Wait, literally? For real?
Yep.
Yes.
Pixie, Matraka, and Gala.
Yeah.
Damn.
I agree, but Christian snuck in there. But she was.
I went for comedy.
She performed.
I went for comedy. And Vermelha.
She spun it right into that top, baby.
So,
good for her.
Yes.
And good for Lana.
Next week is a design challenge.
Wow.
Ooh. I'm excited.
Two fashion challenges back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think this is like completely different. Like it's one thing to show what you can bring. It's a complete different thing to show what you can make.
Yep.
So I'm excited that we're kicking it off our second episode with the design challenge, and
especially since everybody's still there, so we can see what everybody can make.
Yeah.
So,
I have high hopes for these queens. So
I'm very excited.
Let's see.
Yep. So thank you so much for joining us for our premiere recap of Drag Race Mexico. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at The Cup Pod for all of your up-to-date Cup things. Get your merch, link below. Follow us on Twitter. Do the YouTube things because you're on YouTube, so you know how to do the things that happen on YouTube. So do them. Merch. And with that, cheers.
Adios.
Adios.
Hasta luego.
Adios.
Bye.
Spanish.
Bye.
Spanish words.